I cried. I don't know if I'd ever cried. Maybe when I was a baby looking for my mommy's attention. Maybe that was when I cried. But I cried passionately. Hi, beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for stopping by. If you're new here, welcome to all my new G's. Welcome. You're welcome on board. I'm so glad that you are here. And to all of my returning subscribers, I love you so much. So quickly, my name is Christiana, and this is Chat with Christy. We talk about everything that happens around us. So without talking too much, let's get right into today's video. Right, so today I will be talking about my serious heartbreak story, and we'll be picking some lessons from my story to take home. All right, so um it starts, let's call the name of this guy Femi, because Femi are known to break people's hearts, so they are heartbreak masters. And this is not to shade all the Femis on my page, right? But it is what it is. Duh. All right, so let's call him Femi. Myself and Femi started talking when I was in Abuja at the time, and then we started talking from on Facebook. He chatted me on Facebook, sent friend requests, I accepted, and then that was where the conversation started. So we, after weeks, we exchanged numbers so we can get closer by chatting on WhatsApp and maybe probably talk on phone, right? So that was it, and we introduced ourselves, where he's from and where I am from. So it happens that we're even from the same town, and it was so, it was really happy when he heard that I was from the same town, or that I am from the same town he is from. And that was like, oh, my sister, my brother, that kind of thing. So and to think that he at the time was staying in Lagos, and I was living in Abuja. So we have long distance friendship. So it started on a friendship note, like pure friendship, and that's it. Because we talked about everything, talk about family, talk about everything that happens around a place of work, and he's very intentional about people around him. Maybe that's what I think about him, Sha. So let's talk about him. So now we go talking, and then we moved from being casual friends to being good friends in months, right? Because we have really gotten to know each other really well. After a few months, I was mobilized for my national youth service. So I traveled down to Ibadan for my national youth service, and it was still in Lagos at the time. He was a lawyer. Maybe he's still a lawyer. I don't know. Yeah, but he was a lawyer at the time that I knew him. And, because of maybe the way I saw him, it felt like he cannot hurt a fly. But let's continue. From time to time, I started getting comfortable with him. We can talk. It moved from talking every few days to talking every days, right? And all of that. So when I moved to Ibadan, it felt like we are a bit closer, right? But although we've not even see each other, that is what I'm trying to say, that we didn't even see each other. We only see our pictures, and we are cool. We talk like that. And at some point, our friendship relationship got so deep that he started talking about starting a relationship. He's so free with me. He has never felt this way with any lady before. He started talking to me. This has happened, blah 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 blah, yada 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 yada. So we went on this on and on and on and on and on and on for weeks. I think 2 to 3 weeks, we kept dragging it. Maybe we should just leave it. That there are some friendship relationship that does not necessarily mean you should go into dating relationship with them. We are good as friends. Let's just keep it that way. And he was like, no, he's been thinking about me. He does not even know how to say it. But then he had to just let it out because it felt like it's boiling inside. After a month or so, I started I started to maybe see reasons with him, like, okay, we are good. We have each other's back. The things that I will not remember for myself about myself, he would remember, he would remind me, and those things gets me right. We talk to my brother even when we are just friends. We'll talk to my brothers, just with them. They would even talk for minutes, and I'm like, come on. So that's how friendly it can be also. So we've really talked about it and dealt with it, and I mean, every of my own attempt to make him serious and why we should just still remain friends, he's not even going anywhere. Like, he's so hell-bent on, let's start a relationship, we will make good fiance or fiancés together. And I said, okay. At the time I was not in any relationship, so let's just give it a try. Why not? Okay. So I started thinking about it. I started to contemplate on it also, and see all of his good side, all the things I has done. So and then I had started falling in love, in short. After several weeks on it, then I started to, maybe because I started to put my mind on, can it work? Should I start a relationship with him? Him, thinking about how the relationship is going to be. Then, before I knew what was going on, I'd really fallen in love with. I started to pray about it. So, and I told him that I would pray about it. But at the time that I want to start praying about it, I'd fallen in love with him. So that is to note. So I started to pray about it. And, praying about relationship is not like you pray today and everything will come like a trance, like you're in a trance. Say, my daughter, my daughter, that man is the man for you. No, it wasn't like that. So I prayed for days running into weeks. And, you know, I don't know, as time goes on, as I said, I was praying about it. As time goes on, my love for him starts to grow so strong, and he would call and tell me, "Did you see this lady? Did you see what this lady did? Imagine this, that, that." I would gist about it. So his sincerity at the time, even if you are going to put a gun to his head, he will tell you the truth. We're really so much into each other at the time. Mind you, I had not said yes because I was still praying. I wanted to be sure. But I'd fallen head over heels for him already. So, and with this, my emotion, I was still praying. I was already full of emotions for him, but I was still praying. And because there is one thing about me, I would not take a step as huge as going into relationship with somebody without asking God, hello, God, is it a good place to go? I hope the road is free, God. Can I go? That has been my own habit, for every relationship. And maybe that's why I didn't really have the opportunity to jump from one relationship to another, to another, to another, to another, to another, to another. Because before I know it, I would have gotten a confirmation about what I was asking for, and then it will help my decision. So, but this one was a different case entirely. And there was even a day that I went to church. I went to church with my friend, and it looks like a perfect relationship for even my friend. Even my friends are telling me, "What are you still waiting for? Come on, give this guy a yes." You guys are already acting like you're already dating already. So what is the point? Come on. Even God understands that it's going to be a perfect relationship, but the meme said I was going to pray about it. I was still praying. So there was a day myself and my friend went to Prayer City Mountain. During the NYSC, I think that was during the mid-term break. So there was nowhere to go, no school and all of that. So I decided that I would just go to Lagos and have fun with my friend. So we went to Prayer City, Prayer City in Lagos. So there, when I got there, there was only one thing on top of my mind at the time. There was only one, even though there are so many other things to pray about, like I'm supposed to be doing bing, bing, bing. But there's one thing that was on my mind that I really wanted quick answer for. I've been praying about it for weeks, and it felt like everything was just silent. silent. It's not always like that, really. When I pray about something, God is always faithful. He answers prayers, right? But at this time, it was so silent. I wasn't hearing anything. There was nothing that was nothing that was telling me anything, whether good, bad, was go or no go. So, but at the time when she said we should go, why not? So I went there, and that one thing was on my mind, like, okay, yes, I am in prayer city, the prayer mountain. And I decided I after the service, or maybe during the service, I was midnight service. I was praying, God, what is this? Lord, is this your will? Lord, show me. Lord, reveal. Lord, I need a convention. I was praying all sorts of prayers that centers around him. Lord, is he a good guy? Lord, I need a confession. Lord, this, Lord, that. And after the prayer, I think after the vigil, we had a short nap. And when I slept, I saw something that looks like a yes. Although it wasn't really clear, but something like looked like a yes. That was like the most, that time, like the most happiest day of my time. At the time, I had a lot of happiest days after. To God be the glory. In fact, these are my happy days. So that time, it looks like that day was my best. My friend did not even understand what was going on, but she does not need to understand. I was the one that I had the conversation with God, so I believed God spoke with me. And so, my joy was too full because that was exactly what I was looking for. Mind you, what I was looking for was what I got. So I had it and I was super excited. So to me, I'm in the house of God. God visited me and told me this. So yes, it can never be any other thing than a yes. And that's exactly what I needed. I was super excited. I was jumping. I was happy because I was ready to do life with this person, right? So immediately when it was daybreak and we returned back to our base, I called him and like, Boro, Alpha, yeah, we are cool. We can move. He also was super excited that yes, he's starting a relationship with me after so much back and forth and all of that. And then we decided to, so the relationship, because it was God that said, because in my mind, or to me, it was God that said, go. But I was too relaxed. When you feel like you have heard God, there's this kind of peace that you have from within you, like, well, let me go and rest. I just went to rest immediately. I stopped praying because I had already heard God. So God had already said we should go. So anything that is going to happen in the relationship, God will take care of it because it was Him that said I should go. I was in my realization mood for as long as God knows. I trusted Him. There's no reason why I should think otherwise. There's no reason why I should be afraid of anything. A few months after, he said, oh, we now need to get to know each other. Like, yes, we started a proper relationship and it is official that we have started the relationship. So we need to see each other and get to know each other better. Like, so he was planning to come to Ibadan at the time that, he was going to take leave from work and then he will come to Ibadan and maybe lodge in a hotel for 1 week, and then we can get to know each other, even though I am also a strong advocate of no sex before marriage. So at the time, we already had a conversation that there will be nothing like this. I said, no, it's just to get to know each other. And I believed him. I was doing a countdown for the day he was going to come visit him with my friend and all of that, just to get to know each other better. Not long after, he called me that his mother is ill, that she fell sick and she has been rushed to the hospital. And he said I should join him in prayer. Then we started praying for the mother. And it was almost the time he said he was coming to Ibadan. So she was admitted. It felt like, it was something simple that would go. But it escalated. The issue got worsened in few weeks, and I mean he lost his mother. So the mom died. May her soul rest in peace. And I was so sad. Later, I asked him, how is the burial going to be as a girlfriend? So he said it's not going to be something serious since she's not a old woman, that they will just bury her like that. I'm like, okay, even if it is not something serious, even if it's not, I need to be there and to pay my respects to her and all of that. And I think at some point it was like, there's no need. I said, I insisted. So because I insisted, he agreed that okay, no problem, I can come. And I started planning. I was in Ibadan at the time when this whole thing, when the mother died and all this whole thing happened. So I started to pack my bag, and he told me, oh, it's in 4 days or 5 days. So I started making preparation. I traveled to Lagos for the burial that was supposed to take place for, I think, 2 days, wake keep, and then the normal burial. So I think I got to Lagos on Friday, if I'm not mistaken. I got to Lagos on Friday. Yeah, then from Lagos, I got his address. He sent me his address, his family house address at Ikorodu. I traveled down to Ikorodu. It was far from mainland, from Yanopaja. Going to Ikorodu in Lagos, that the traffic, it was in fact very very hectic for me, because I've not been to Ikorodu my life since I've been going to Lagos. So it was really really hectic for me, and but I was doing it for love. Hello. So I got there. I met him. I met him with his family. I greeted him. I'm also the shy type, especially in that kind of situation. You are meeting family members of somebody that's my supposed boyfriend. So I was a bit shy. I was shy, just keeping in one corner, keeping myself. He greeted me well, and then he took me into one room to stay with some other people. There, I met a lady. That the other people, a lot of people, family member from everywhere already in the house. So it was a full house. So I met a lady in the house, and I heard people saying Yahuwah, Yahuwah. It wasn't supposed to be a concern to me because nobody introduced her to me, right? So well, I was just doing my things like Yahuwah. It could be anybody's Yahoo, it could be anybody's wife or girlfriend. So, but I know she's young like me. So I was sat there trying to relate with other people carrying their babies. I saw a lot of babies. I love babies, carrying their babies and just trying to also be good to them, normal thing, because they say first impression, it lasts longer. It was time, then he called me and took me there. And then I prayed and we left there. And that was how that day. So I with the women there, that's so that it will not be, I will not just be with him or stuffs like that. He doesn't even speak well. So I was in there with them. I was busy with all the women, trying to hold conversation with them, trying to be friendly with them, as spa, new girlfriend. I need to get to know them and all of that. But I know that all of them are so particular about one lady. They are just saying Yahuwah, Yahuwah. I really do not know what that means, really. But they kept saying Yahuwah, Yahuwah. Even me follow talk Yahuwah. Oh my God. So when it was night, I tried to come out at some point when I was about sleeping. I saw him sleeping on the couch. It was midnight. I saw him sleeping on the couch, and it was like, no, I should just leave him. Then I went back into the room. At a point, I didn't see the Yahoo. I felt like maybe she had been with somebody else, and I slept comfortably without anything in my mind. So fast forward to the next day. Everybody's all dressed. I woke up so early, put on. I already had my clothes. I already brought my clothes for the burial. The ones I had before, the Ankara, normal Ankara now, and not to look too bogus, so just something simple I brought. And I was already all dressed up, and I just do my normal thing. They were cooking. I assisted in cooking. Assisted in doing some of the things that every other woman in the house did. Right. So it was time for everybody to go downstairs now under the tent for the sermon, for the burial sermon, where the pastor will preach, do prayers, and then everybody will maybe serve everybody and eat. Then I saw that his brothers, because he had two elder brothers, and then he has a sister, so there are four in numbers in that family. So he had his younger sister and two elder brothers. Those two elder brothers, they are married and with kids. So all of them are supposed normally, I think that's how they do it. Yes, that's how they do it. Everybody will be on the same attire, the same Ankara for the burial, because it's their mother now, right? So they picked, that's all the children, the deceased children wear the same Ankara. So in fact, the night before, I followed my supposed boyfriend to pick his clothes at the tailor's, the fashion designer's shop, to iron it and put everything in order. So all the other women, all these brothers and their wives are well dressed, their children, all of them are dressed in the same Ankara attire. And also my boyfriend is one the same thing with them. I in fact did not even think of wearing this. In fact, I did not think of it. Even when he went to get it, I didn't even ask him because it's not necessary. We are not married, right? So why should I? So every other person wore the same. My boyfriend, my supposed boyfriend at the time, came down with the same man. He's looking all elegant. In fact, in my mind, I'm like, oh Maury. Not long after, then I saw this sister. The sister that every other person are calling Iyawuwa, our wife, our wife, our wife, came down in the same attire. You know, the way they sat down, one of his brother, like the eldest, sits, and then the wife will sit with him. Then they followed by the second born, sits also, then his wife. Then my supposed boyfriend sat down, and then I saw this sister Yahuwah. I'm like, oh, okay. What is going on here? Hello? And I think all of the dots of what I've been saying a day before started to connect. Yahuwah, Yahuwah, Yahuwah. And then I started to ask myself, whose Yahoo is this person self? Because apparently, if you're calling somebody Yahuwah, at some point, the husband will come on surface and they would, you would see who this person is with or who the Yahoo, whose Yahoo she is. And I was expecting another man to come and say, maybe there's another guy that I do not know of. I shall know there are four. Maybe there's another person. And it happens that this person sat with my boyfriend. Okay. Okay. And God, I beg. Thank God it's not the things that I am remembering and I'm laughing about. It was tragic at the time. So his sister, that is my supposed boyfriend's sister, sat down, and then because that one too was married at the time, she sat down, and then her husband sat with her. That was when and I know that okay, who have I been since? What's happening? A lot of questions. I was destabilized at the time. I needed an answer. But because it was in front, something that was that important was going on, there was no way to have any conversation. But I needed an urgent answer. My blood was hot. My face has turned red. A lot of thinking. I wasn't even ready to fight. I just needed an answer. What is going on? I don't understand what is going on here. I just needed an answer. Excuse me. I wasn't angry, really, because I still feel like there was no reason to be angry. I just needed to be told, oh, this is what is happening, or no, it's not what you think. This is exactly what is happening. But there was no answer. He was so occupied. People are greeting him left, right, and center. That was not the best place to go and ask, who is this person? Why are you and this person sitting together wearing the same attire? Blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. No conversation. There was no way, where a lot of people, even after the burial, she was there. She was also crying like one of the Abi. She's one of these the deceased children. I don't know. So that was exactly why I said I still felt like there was no reason for me to be angry or to be heartbroken, but I needed an answer at the time. It went on. Everybody, in fact, at the time of serving, I still tried to I composed myself and then helped them to serve and all of that, thinking that maybe because I planned that since the burial is over, there was no reason for me to be there anymore. I packed my car, that maybe when I'm leaving and he's seeing me off, then we'll have a short conversation, and then maybe when I get home, we'll be able to talk. I was wrong. I finished everything. It was about time. He came to meet me. Have you eaten? I said, no. Say, why don't you eat? I said, I don't feel like. I said, since morning. It's afternoon or it's almost evening. You should have something. I said, I feel full. Really, I was full that day. What I saw that day is enough for me to be full. And maybe he saw my face. So it was time for me to go. He also was really dragging him left, right, center, because he was like at the center of everything. He took everything up on himself, So it was not really accessible for me. And I felt like that was not even, there was no atmosphere for me to be able to ask questions, even though I needed that at the time. So when it was like looking like, oh, the day is almost getting over, I need to go back to Yanopaja where I stayed with my friend. Then I was leaving and I expect that he would see me up. He just squeezed himself out, and then his sister too. Maybe he told his sister about me or something. That one, she said she wants to see me off. So because the sister was with us, I could not talk. I could not ask any question. I could not say anything because the sister is there. It's supposed to be a conversation between me and that guy, but she was there. So I felt like, okay, no problem. Then we can still talk on phone, and then we'll get this all sorted. So immediately I got to the park, I just got a message from him. Hey, Nike, please don't do anything. It is not what you think. I know there must have been a lot of things going on in your mind, but it's not what you think. Don't think about anything. I would explain. Just give me time to explain. When I saw that message, it was a bit relieving, although that did not take my anxiety and curiosity out. I was a bit relieved that, okay, he has an explanation because that's exactly what I was waiting for. So I said, okay, no problem, we'll talk. Like we need that talk. And I got home in the evening, like evening. I know everybody must have departed from there because before I even left, most people had, left the scene, just family members and all that. So in the evening, when I got home, I could not even tell my friend that this was what my eyes saw. Because, I told you that all of my friends saw our relationship or felt like our relationship was that perfect kind of relationship that every lady should have. So when I got home, I could not tell them this was how my eyes saw. It was something that I was sucking out. I was sucking it inside my tummy. I was sucking it. Because I still felt like when he talked to me, when he explained what was going on, because I felt like I still did not have the full gist. So telling them would just be like, I just want to come and tell them what is not real. So I needed the explanation to be able to know how to line out my story and tell them what my eyes saw. I was waiting. This was how I sat down looking at my phone like this. I was looking at my phone for several minutes. My friend noticed that I wasn't moving. I was not happy. My countenance when I go back changed. No laughter, no jokes, no nothing. Even when they were joking, there was nothing that was funny to me at the time anymore. I was sure looking at the phone like, God, I beg. I was looking at my phone. Okay, so at some point when his calls or his messages were not forthcoming, I put it upon myself, feel it upon myself to call. I started ringing him. I started to ring him. I ringed him for I can't remember how long, but I know that I ringed him for so many times. I didn't get a response. Hey, I do not want to believe what I saw was true. But when I got home, everything that surrounds it is telling me that it is true. Believe it! I want to die. So why is he not picking my calls? That's another question. Already there are so many questions on ground that I wanted to ask. So another question is now adding up. It was too much for me to handle at the time. And that was my first ever heartbreak and the most serious of it all. What is this, God? What is happening? He's not picking. I sent text. He will read my text and not respond. I chatted him on WhatsApp. He would read my WhatsApp messages and not respond. I don't know what to do again. I could not sleep through the night. I managed to pretend as if nothing was wrong with my friends. Two of my friends were around that they know him very well. I managed to pretend as if nothing was wrong, but a lot of things was very wrong with me. In the middle of the night, I could not take it any longer because I didn't sleep. I was thinking of a lot of things, but I did not get answer to all the things I was thinking about. Would I travel back to Ikorodu? Is it worth it? Okay, if I go there and I didn't say more, he didn't give me the audience because somebody I'm trying to talk to on phone and he's not giving me the audience. What if he snubbed me? What if a lot? So in the middle of the night, around 2 a.m., I had to wake one of my friends up. Babe, please let me talk to you in the sitting room. We went to the sitting room. I'm like, babe, this is what my eyes saw in the hand of Femi. Oh, I was saying it with tears. I told you I was already head over heels. He had made me falling in love. He did not even give me any reason to doubt him at all. To think, it took me time. I prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed. Even when I'm supposed to say yes, I decided I would not say yes. And I now prayed again. I now prayed finish. I now see something that looks like yes. I'll be saying a yes. And this now happen. It's a lot of question. As I want to ask this guy a question, I was asking God question. God, why? What happened? Where did I get it wrong? I had to tell her because I could not bear the burden. It was now too heavy in my mind. I couldn't keep it any longer. I had to tell her that this was what happened where I went to. She was also shocked. Like, how? Did you see any traces of this before? I said traces. Somebody that talks to me almost every minute. So how? You can be on call for hours, even at work, even when he's talking, even when he's attending to his client, he's on call with me. So I hear that conversation. When he gets home through the night, even sometimes you go through the night till the next one, he's on call with him. So how will I know? How? Isha said I should keep my mind at, she said I should calm down, this, that. I should keep my mind at rest. Nothing was going to happen, this, that, that. She tried to encourage me, but it wasn't working. I just needed that answer. I needed him to pick my call and tell me, okay, it is over. Okay, she's my girlfriend. Okay, and this is the person I'm dating. Okay, let's just put a stop to. I just needed that answer, but I wasn't getting anything. No attention. He left without words. And that was it for me. It pierced into my heart like two-edged sword, piercing into dividing asunder of soul and spirit. Eh, that was it for me. That was the first, and that was the biggest that I've had in my lifetime. I cried. I don't know if I'd ever cried. Maybe when I was a baby looking for my mommy's attention. Maybe that was when I cried. But I cried passionately. I cried because I gave everything. I was too comfortable. I cried because I prayed and I felt like I get an answer. I decided that I was not going to go into a relationship without involving God. I cried because I had trusted him too much. I cried because I wasn't getting any answer. I cried because he left me with no answer. He left me thinking about or trying to figure out what happened by myself. I cried because it was all over in few hours without any prior notice. I traveled down to Ibadan, but wasn't helping it. All of my friends tried to cheer me up. They tried to talk me out of it. They tried everything they could to make sure that I am happy and all of that, but it wasn't working. I had to travel down back home so that you know yes, my friends know what was going on, but I don't have to let the world know that my perfect relationship has hit the rock, has crumbled. And the people that already were not happy about my relationship were now start laughing. I say, hey, I still calm. So I had to cover my own shame and travel to Oshogbo where my parent, where my family lives. So that I will go and do the crying in grand style, because the one I'm even doing in the lodge, I sometimes when I hear footsteps, I wipe my eyes and then cover my head with wrapper so that people will not know what was going on with me. It was that bad. I traveled home. I was crying. So as I was saying, my mom knows about him, and because even when I got there on Friday, when I got there for the wake up on Friday, I told my mom, I told you he had spoken to all my brothers. My brother knows him very well. So she knows. She knows who this guy was at the time. She knows when we even started. She knows all the time that I was praying about it. And she also joined me, right? So she knows I would not keep anything from her. So so when I was traveling to go, I told her about the demise of his mom. She was really sorry too. She even called and sympathized with him and encouraged him. So when I got there, I called my mom that, oh, I'm here in this person's house and all of that. And she said I should pass the phone to him so he can also greet him again and still encourage him, sympathize with him and all of that. So she knows who this person is very well. So when I got home and I told her that this was what my eyes saw in her, she just laughed and said, what is meant to be will be. This person is not meant to be mine. And there is nothing that can change that unless I want to force things into my hands, and it's going to be disastrous. She said a lot of things. She encouraged me. She said so many things that it's even better all of this is happening now. What if we have gotten deep, 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 deep to the point of maybe even coming to see the family, because the person that disguised to that level, and I didn't even notice anything, as smart as I know that I am, I didn't notice anything, and it happens that way. What if I did not go? The relationship will definitely continue, and I will not know that this is going on underground, and that is even the real person. Maybe he had even done integration with her, because they started calling every member of the family knows her, and they started calling her our wife, our wife, our wife. So what if it went on and on and on and on, and even every other man that comes my way around the time, I tell them off, because I already have a serious, in my mind, I have a serious relationship. That, thank God, I should be grateful to God that all of this, it unveiled itself on time. After so after so many persuasion and encouragement and a lot of talk from my mom, I was relieved. I felt like that was the answer to that was the answer to all the questions in my heart. That was the right answer that I needed. Although I felt like I needed something more, but those words came just in time, and it melted everything that felt like rock in my heart, that felt like a burden. It melted them off. I was able to. I felt relieved. I felt like I had comfort, and gradually it starts to go. I stopped crying about it. I stopped thinking about it. Before I blocked him, he now started posting. He had never posted that before. He now started posting him and the girl and the babe together, the memories they've shared. So this babe has been there all along, even before we got to know each other. But I did not know. That is how terrible some men can be. I blocked him off, blocked everywhere, blockable, remove his number, delete his number, did everything. And that was where I started my healing process. I started to heal. I started to love myself more. I started to place more attention on the things that I do. I started to read book and distract myself from thinking about it. I started my healing process, and with the help of my mom and a consistent encouragement and all of that, I was able to find strength and rise back up. It felt like I was never going to get over it, but in days, I was able to get over it. I was able to find strength within days and get back up and behave like nothing happened. And I went back. To God be the glory. So what is the take home from this? First thing was, I had fallen in love. I said I was praying about this relationship, right? But I had fallen in love with him before I started praying about it. And that was where I got it all wrong. Before praying about any relationship, know that your mind is free from anything, because whatever is in your mind is what is going to be revealed to you. I had a dream and I felt like that was a yes. But that yes that I saw was exactly what has clouded my mind. And that was what I saw in my dream. That was exactly, it was never a trance. It was never a revelation from God. It was what was on my mind already, what I wanted, because I had loved him. If there was no, in fact, at the time, if I hear a no, I would still contemplate and I want to reconfirm it. That is to tell you that I would doubt it, even if the truth unveil itself. But what I had already thought about, I thought about it, it had beclouded my mind so much that all that I would see was yes. So that was my first mistake. I had loved him before I started to pray about it. Even though I said I'm trying to make it spiritual, even though I said that I wanted to hear the face of God, I still do not want to go about it. I already made my decision before I call God into it, and that's my mistake number one. The lesson number two that I should take home from this is that when you are praying about a man, do not pray, God, is this person a good man? Is he a good man? Everybody is good in their ways. Everybody. In fact, the most terrible person upon the face of the earth, we're still good in some certain way. So if you ask if he's a good man, he's still good, because that tiny bit of good is still written, or is still being said about him. But is this person good for me? It might not be good for this person. It might not be good for this person, but is it good for me? Being good to everybody does not necessarily mean it will be good to you, and that he is the best fit for you. Everybody is not designed for you. So because he's good, generally everybody talks good about him does not mean he's the right person. I got it wrong from there. He's nice to everybody. Everyone around him loves him, but he's not the right person at the time because he's actually a very terrible person emotionally. Hmm? So that is lesson number 2 to take home. Lesson number 3 is do not ignore red flags. Do not ignore red flags. Another lesson to take home is if you are praying about a person and you know that you are truly like you're already falling head over heels and you are praying and you needed a confirmed answer. You needed not just an answer that is going to favor what you already have in your mind or what you want to happen. Then, and at the time you're already fully in love. Forget what you want is what you are going to see. Talk to somebody that is close with you, that is also a prayerful person, that can pray on your behalf. This person does not have any emotional attachment with your partner or with the person that is asking you out. So when this person intercede for you, we definitely get a right answer because there's nothing like emotional attachment. So whatever she prays about is what, if God is going to reveal to her, is what. So you need to also have somebody around you that will pray with you, because going into relationship, it can break and it can make. So another lesson to also take note of is when you're praying about something and God is silent about it, everything seems silent, you're not getting any answer, don't push too much. If you feel like God is so silent about that your request you are praying about, maybe you should take some step backward. It might be God's way of telling you that it is no go area, and that is on period. In my case, I said that it was silent even when I was really genuinely looking for God's uh God's permission about it. God was so silent. So God saw that I wanted him to tell him yes, but he's not giving a yes, so he was silent. And God's silence can mean no. So when you have so many times or hours or weeks of silence about a particular request that you are praying for, take some step backwards. God might be really telling you something about it. That's another lesson that I learned about this is some relationship are best left as friendship. It is not all friendship should go into serious dating relationship. It is not all of it that should end as relationship. Some relationships, some friendship are just best as they are. Trying to force relationship or trying to maybe change a friendship relationship into a dating relationship can be disastrous. So you are friends, you are cool, you are good, then maybe you should just allow it to be like that. That is exactly why God has brought you two together, to be friends. Yes, friendship relationship also are ordained by God, but God ordained some friendship relationship to remain as friendship relationship. Sometimes we mix things together. We feel because we are very good as friends, then we can go into relationship and make good partners. It doesn't work that way. Another lesson to take home is, okay, this thing has happened, you are going through breakup and it is hard. It is hard. Say, what is meant to be will be. What is not meant to be will never be. And God is so powerful. God is so good that even when he sees that his children had already been drowned in the sea of love and nothing is going into their ears because their love is all has taken all of their mind, they are not thinking straight again, he will still do some things to get them out of the situation, things that will slap sense back into their head, things that will make them realize that this is actually not where I'm supposed to be. So if you are in that situation, consider yourself as the one that has found mercy before God, because God has brought you out of a terrible situation to give you a better testimony. If you are going through heartbreak, if God wants it to be, nothing will change it. Take this from me. Take this home. If God wants you to be in that relationship, if you and that person are meant to be forever, then nothing will break it. But since that it has broken, he has left you, or you left him, or something happened and then you are not together again and you feel heartbroken, remember this, that God has, you have found so great mercy before God to have taken you out of disaster and to place you in a place where your testimony will be known to the world. Because if you continue in that, it is going to be great, great problem. The ship is going to wreck in such a way that even you, it will destabilize everything about you. A lot of marriages are that has broken so many women. They were good when they got married. They were good when they were single. But the moment they meet this person, this man or this woman comes into their life, destroys everything that makes them valuable, destroys everything valuable in them, destroys their inner self, and makes them the shadow of themselves and leave them. A lot of time, God wants to bring, because we are in love, we tend to be deaf. We tend to turn deaf ears to a lot of instruction from friends, from families. In fact, our eyes will not say the things that are not good about it, and that is because we are in love. And because of this, God will not want to force his decision or choice on you, but he will find way to take you out of situations that are going to break you, just so you can have better testimony. So that is the take home for you. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, please, I know you do, not if, I know you do, give this video a thumbs up. Share this video to as many people that needs to see as possible. Share this video to as many people that needs to see as possible. I pray that your relationship is going to proclaim goodness of God in the world, and you will not fall into the hands of heartbreaker. So God bless you. Please do not forget to like, do not forget to subscribe, do not forget to comment. If you want to share about your own heartbreak story too, please share in the comment section. I will be glad to read from you. Reading your comment gives me joy. Please keep the joy coming. Thank you so much. See you in my next video. Bye.